Yes, and we associate it with celebrities. But I think it's very important to make clear this can happen to anyone.
Absolutely, yeah, and even beyond my own experience, heard it happen to other people as well. So, yes, not just for celebrities.
Can you tell us what happened to you?
Yeah, of course. So it's about 6-7 years ago. I came out of a hard relationship. Didn't identify it as being controlling at the time, but when I left that person, he did start stalking and harassing me. Went over a period of time to the point where I did feel scared enough to actually contact the police. There was an incident that actually made me go and contact the police. He actually ended up kidnapping me as well.
Dear, dear, dear. So, excuse me, how long was this relationship? I presume you're talking about someone who you felt you knew, you felt you loved at one stage.
Yes.
But did you really know them?
I don't think I knew the extent of their mental distress, if I'm being completely honest. I think that their mental health wasn't in a sound place, and I think that was kept from me quite a lot throughout the relationship, for sure.
And Jess, of course, that's no excuse for stalking, just because someone's got mental health problems. Just explain to us what that was in how it demonstrated itself. What was he doing? Following you home? Repeated phone calls? What was its sort of format?
Yeah, so I had a long list of phone calls from an unknown number pretty much every day. He would turn up pretty much anywhere that I was. I remember one particular day I didn't go to work because I was so sick with anxiety of, from what was going on, and still he knew to turn up at my home on that day when I should have been at work. So I was confused as to how he knew where I was.
How did he know that?
Well, I feel foolish, but he was following me using Find My Friends on my phone, which I then obviously turned off because I put two and two together. But still, he found ways to follow me after that.
Right. So you then have to go to someone who listens to you and believes this is serious and does something about this. Mm-hmm. How seriously is stalking taken?
I don't think it's taken seriously enough. I think that because of the kidnap and GBH that actually prompted me to go to the police, I think they did take it perhaps more seriously than other people kind of received from the police. But it was a long process from the initial arrest to actually anything happening with court or procedures after. So I ended up dropping my charges.
Did you?
Yes. Yeah.
And why did you decide to do that? Just because you wanted to move on and and stop thinking about it all?
Yes, pretty much. I mean, I still had a level of fear, and also had spent the entire relationship with him being sort of gaslighted to an extent where I thought, do you know what, if this goes to court, no one's going to believe me anyway. I felt a certain level of shame for letting it happen, even though that wasn't my fault. And I thought it would be easier on my mental health to just let it go.
Sure. So you did let it go. And what happened? Did it fizzle out, or what happened?
So when I initially contacted the police, they did put a restraining order on him. And I think that was enough to scare him away from actually stalking me further. So no, he did fizzle out after that.
Did that involve going to court? Because the reason I ask you that, my best friend went through this. A beautiful girl like yourself, a GP, a patient became infatuated with her, used to follow her home. She's got 3 little girls. She was frightened, took it to the police and went to court to get a restraining order. But it was when she was in court, just queuing up to go through the security gates, she realised he was stood behind her. She could feel his breath on the back of her neck. The whole system was totally inappropriate for the sort of crime that he was in court for. I mean, did you have to go through that?
I didn't have to go to court. I'm very, very grateful to not have to go to court. I think, the nature of what he was arrested for meant that they could put that restraining order on him. It was only a 30-day one, but it was enough to allow me to feel safe.
Jess, that allows you to feel safe and that solves your problem. What I would worry about this man is he's then free to do this again to someone else. I mean, it's almost as if there should be a register and people should be warned about this obsessive behaviour.
I agree. It's something that I do feel guilt about. I have heard from another person who has had a negative interaction with this person. So, yeah.
Right. We're on here today. You're a founder of this Run, Talk, Run. What do you want to achieve, and what advice have you got to people who are listening to you who can maybe identify with this? Because you could have gone to the petrol station, filling up your car, and somebody in a car behind you decides they have a fixation with you. I mean, it could happen. We were trying to say it can happen to absolutely anybody.
Yes.
What are you trying to get out there? What is the message?
So with the idea with Run, Talk, Run is to create more safe spaces where people can share those negative experiences that they've been through, and to talk about the things that do trouble them, that are maybe hard to talk about in a circle of friends. You know, a lot of people feel like they don't want to burden their friends and family with especially things like domestic abuse or stalking.
Yeah.
And so actually to meet a group that's a support group where the intention is to talk about those hard things, I think is really needed. It just so happens running facilitates that nicely.
Okay. And has this affected you going forward in terms of other relationships? Or would you say to people at home there can be a healthy relationship after having been the victim of stalking?
There can be. For me, it's taken a lot of therapy. It took me a long time to want to confront it in therapy, to stop being so apologetic to my partners that I've been with over the years and feel like I'm always in the wrong. But yeah, it is possible. Yeah, as long as you get the support.
See, I think sometimes you talk, I mean, I've had incidents in my life whereby you talk to people about it, and these are very serious incidents, but people tend to laugh at them because it's ridiculous. Like, there was a woman who attached herself to my car once, and like, you know, people sort of laugh at that.
The way you said it, it's not. I'm not
But
laughing.
she did.
I know, she's saying it with a twinkle.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying she spread-eagled over the bonnet, and you know, and listen, you come out, and what do you do? What do you do about that? You know, I had a 14-year-old girl who followed me on holiday, like, you know,
Yeah, awful.
and that was actually, I find that the scariest, because I worried about her. I worried about her parents.
Yes.
And you know, why she was doing what she was doing, and also what could you do about it? You're abroad. A 14-year-old came up and said, "Oh, you're on holiday with my family." I was, you know, but I've come because, you know, I love you so much and I want to be here and whatever. I mean, this and this stalking, what I'm trying to say is the nature of it takes different forms, and you felt threatened in many ways. I felt scared. I felt very scared about the whole thing. But I think it's important that people take you seriously, you know, and that's
Absolutely.
the whole thing.
Yeah, no, it's scary. Especially if you have a level of compassion towards that person as well. You know?
Yes. Well, listen, you continue to heal. Thank you for sharing your experience, and continue running.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.